This week's episode of I Was a Teenage Film Snob is not brought to you by a series of J-Lo rom-coms. Welcome to I Was a Teenage Film Snob. I'm James Chalmers, your friendly neighborhood film snob, recording again live from Film Snob HQ. I am going to keep saying that probably for the rest of the year until I get sick of it, because it's cool. I like working in here, and I've got my whole setup now, which if you've been following on Instagram, you'll see looks very, very cool. But enough about my nonsense. We are here to talk about movies. We're continuing our focus on the 2000s. As I've described in previous episodes, but probably the definitive decade of movies for me and for most of my guests, because that was our formative movie years. And today, it's been a while since it's been on. It's been a long time waiting, but finally, after a little bit of a break, we can welcome back one of my favorite guests in the world, my movie watching partner all of last year. Please welcome back Josh Sacco.
Hey, Jimmy C.
Oh man, you called me Jimmy C in a message the other day, and I lost my mind. I laughed so loudly, and it was that accompanied by a series of curse words. It was just so out of nowhere. I was like, oh my god, made me laugh. How are you, man?
I am good. Busy, but good.
Yeah, I ask as if I don't know. We just spent an hour talking and catching up because it's been a minute since we've even spoken. Life moves very quickly, and it's been happening a lot around us in the last few months. So it's been nice to catch up.
Yeah, for sure. We usually talk about what we've watched, what we're doing, and all that. So,
Yeah, you've been. I know you've been
usual.
watching. You've been watching Has Been Hotel. You mentioned before we started recording. You've been devouring that multiple times.
Yeah,
Which is a pretty strong recommendation. Probably need to get us that. But have you been watching any movies?
yeah. Um, I recently watched 1922, that Stephen King movie,
Oh, how was
and it
that?
wasn't very. It wasn't very. I hate when trailers make it seem different than what it was. The trailer is totally different to what the movie is. The movie is such a slow burn. I love Stephen King movies. I like the way they're styled.
Mm,
There's a particular style to them. But I just this movie, like In the Tall Grass, was good.
okay.
Um, I like the Stand TV series.
Okay.
Um, I saw the new Hunger Games. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Back to Stephen King quickly. One of the first horror films we watched together was a Stephen King film, Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
So underrated. It is dumb, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's just what Stephen King is. There's a little bit of cringe, there's a little bit of gore, there's a little
Mm.
bit of smut, there's a little bit of cheese, and there's
I
a
uh I just love, is it Damian Lewis? His all of his voices as Mr. Grey. Just
yeah.
I've been in your memory warehouse. Just
Yeah.
oh man, it's
I
so
heard
good.
they're doing a prequel to it. I'm so down for that.
Prequel to Dreamcatcher.
Prequel to it.
Oh, to
To
it.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. I rewatched those It movies last year, and two is a bit long, and the end is very CGI heavy, but I still enjoy it. But I think one is the stronger film. One just executes on every level, and because it's just the kids, I think it plays scarier. Whereas although the second one does have the old woman sequence, which is terrifying.
Yeah. I think the first one just feels like every good old school horror movie
Mm.
slash sci-fi, that 80s kids get in trouble type of setup.
It's
Yeah.
everything Spielberg did, and
Yeah.
it's what Stranger Things is really kind of made
Yes.
built on, as well as Stephen King via Steven Spielberg. Yeah, that first one is really really good.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and two's fun as well. It's just it's cast excellently. It's just a bit long.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't remember what other movies I've watched. I like I've watched a lot of ones that are on my list that weren't very good, so I wanted to watch them, but they didn't turn out that great.
that's always
Like,
disappointing. You're I'm finally watching it.
so,
I should have kept waiting.
yeah. I watched Burn After Reading a few
Oh,
years
that's
ago.
a great flick.
I know. It's so weird because it's like, I mean, it's the cast is really good because it's like John Malkovich, George Clooney, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt is so funny in it. Like, he's
Yeah,
playing like a himbo. Like, he's just like so dumb. Uh,
the premise
and
of it is so funny though. Like, it's just like it's people getting into accidents thinking that they're in bigger trouble than they really are, and
yeah,
then everyone's having affairs.
yeah. I remember like I was talking to people after it, after I saw it, because I watched it. I haven't seen it since it came out, and I loved it. Like Tina and I watched it together, and we're like, "That's amazing." But it hasn't been available for a long time in Australia, which is why I don't own it. But I've been talking to other people, and they were like, "It was so stupid because none of it was important. It was all just accidents." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the genius of it. Like the
Yeah, it
genius
meant
of it is,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh, yeah." And like it's like the hint is in the title. It's like after like burn after read, like after you've seen it, like just dispose of it. Like none of it matters. Like it's
yeah,
all in the title. You just need to pay attention. But
yeah.
that's a great flick. Yeah.
Because I was actually looking around at 2000 to 2010 movies, and I was like, oh, I was like, this is such a great. This, I was like, most of the movies I've talked about previously are all from the 2000 to 2010 period. Like, I struggled to make my list because
Mm,
there's either too many movies or I've already talked about my favorite ones. And I feel like this decade is like the most. I think I say this every time, but like the most vast catalog
mm.
of different movies available, like that hit box office.
Hundred
Like,
percent. Like they were making like they make a lot of movies now, but they make a lot of big movies now. Like in the 2000s, 2000 to 2010, they were making independent films like $30 million comedies. Like I was saying to Tina last week when we recorded, I'm like, think about how many Jennifer Lopez rom coms came out in the 2000s.
yeah, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't have rom coms. They don't have no like weird dumb comedies,
Mm.
which like define the 2000 to 2010 periods. Um,
We agreed.
yeah,
We both think that maybe it's the best decade of movies in general.
yeah, it
Like
is. Yeah,
just it's so comprehensive. And again, like we're biased because we were teenagers during those years, so that's when we were going to the movies the most. But it's a really
I
strong
think the
decade.
yeah, yeah. I think there's like lack of palette at the moment because like I think superhero movies that come out, they just try to do everything. They try to be an action movie, sci-fi, comedy, you know, and you're like fantasy, and then you just kind of like, well, they've just kind of ticked all the boxes, and then they can guarantee an audience, so that's like they're unrivaled, up until this point.
Mm. But like think
And
about if you think about it, like the 2000s opens with Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and X-Men and Spider-Man and American Pie and Blade and the Matrix. Blade's 98, but the Matrix is 99, 2000. And then the decade closes with The Dark Knight and Iron Man. Like
yeah,
and then that's not including all the stuff that happened in the middle. Like it's just a like in the middle of that you get like the return of Quentin Tarantino because he'd been quiet since '97, but he comes back and gives you some of his best work. You get Kill Bill and you get Inglourious Bastards. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a huge decade.
Yeah,
Um,
no, they were great movies. There's like V for Vendetta,
yeah,
Seth Rogen, James Franco team ups,
yeah. Watchmen comes out.
Yeah,
You get all the horror remakes. Like the 2000s was the decade of horror remakes. You get Freddy vs. Jason, you get Friday the 13th, you get Nightmare on Elm Street, you get House of Wax, you get Dawn of the Dead, you get Hills Have Eyes. Like, it's such a huge, like, they crammed so much movie into that decade. It's insane.
yeah,
And then they're doing weird stuff as well. Like, you get things like Napoleon Dynamite in the middle of the
yeah.
2000s. Like,
I really like this period because it was just full of dumb comedies.
mm,
Like just a lot of cool dumb comedies, like Step Brothers and stuff.
yeah.
Like
Like,
also the
and
best, yeah, also the best era for SNL as well.
yeah, absolutely. That's the Will Ferrell era. Yeah, that was a really good
Andy
decade as well.
Samberg, Bill Hader, yeah, all
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
All
Hot
them
Rod
movies.
comes out in the 2000s, which is a
Yeah,
genius movie.
yeah,
Um, it's a solid decade, and like we were at the heart of it. I was talking about this last week. I didn't really go to the movies much when I was in school, but after I graduated, I went to the movies a lot. Like we would go to the movies. We worked in a video store together for a couple of years, so we were like renting and like doing like going to each other's houses and watching tons of movies. Like it was a good decade. Like it was a great
yeah.
decade for me.
It was good. Yeah, it was a fun time. Movies were good too.
Mm. Before we jump into your list and stuff like that, and a bit more about the 2000s, I do want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing is you broke some incredible news this morning on Instagram. Are we allowed to talk about this? You've made it
Oh
public,
yeah,
or
yeah. It's not
so?
out officially. Yeah,
Yeah, because yes, we can talk about it.
yeah, yeah. We
Okay,
can.
cool. That's all right. Because last time you were on, I think we were talking about Junklands and how like we were starting to talk about that because things were moving. We couldn't say too much, but things were going there. But this morning you posted on Instagram that you have been involved in the design, at least at the artwork, and you can clarify for me, for the new version of Risk, which is sponsored by Dune, like the new Denis Villeneuve film.
Yeah. So I'll just like pad out the detail there.
Yeah,
It's
do
not
it because I butchered that, but definitely like
no, because it's like it's very general and it makes it sound bigger than what it is. So it's
it
like
is big. That's
it's I
huge.
mean it's big like in a little bubble. So it's like pretty much it's like Risk have like an online game, and I basically got to work on the Dune expansion for Risk, which comes out alongside the movie next week.
That's
And I got to
awesome.
do some of the concept art and design that kind of brought Dune into the Risk world.
And the
Um,
image you put up had some box art. Were you responsible for that artwork as well?
yes, yes.
That's so cool. Like that's huge. And will there be a physical box or is it all digital?
I'm not sure. I think it'll be digital. I think that's the way they kind of. It'd be cool if that, a real box, but I think it's like a promotional thing. So there'd be too many, deals to be made,
Mm,
if they did a real box.
yeah. I
But
mean,
like,
could you imagine going into like, and you wouldn't see it at like Kmart, but like you go into like a board game store and seeing your artwork on a box in a shop? Like that's awesome. Even
yeah,
seeing it digitally, seeing it on a website, hey, you can buy this. That's my friend's art. Like that's so cool.
yeah, yeah. No, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, like the other board game I worked on, that's in shops at some places. That 18 holes board game.
I
So
remember, yeah, you posted something about that not too long ago in the last few months. There was about a physical copy, which is cool.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's
Josh
good.
has a whole secret life of stuff that's he's signed so many NDAs. There's so many things he can't talk about. And like when I say that, I don't know what they are either because he's signed NDAs. But like every now and then he'll give you dribs and drabs. I'm like, oh my god, like your life, you're like a secret agent. Like there's just stuff like going on all the time.
Yeah,
I'm always very, very impressed, and I'm always like bragging about you to people. I'm like, my friend Josh is doing this, but that's huge. Like I know you said like it's within a bubble, but that's okay. Like it doesn't matter the size of the bubble. It's what's the impact of it in within that bubble, and that's really cool. Like
it's cool, yeah.
as a movie fan and a friend of you, I'm like, well, that's just like peanut butter and chocolate. Like that's perfect.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think it's just good timing because like I'm like in a really boring period on my project.
Mm.
So it's just like it's like good to just like, get like a burst of energy from like new stuff. Cause like I can't handle repetition. Like I just go insane the
Yeah,
second I do things over and over again. I mean, like most people, it's just like, but I'm like, I'll just like leave the house if I have to do repetition,
yeah.
for a while. Like I can't do it.
Well, you were telling me some of the stuff, like some things that are planned in the coming months, like places you'll go, people you've met, stuff like that. I will keep it very vague because I don't want to get you in trouble. Because I
Yeah,
want the ride to keep going. But some of the stuff you've been doing, you're going to start doing, is so cool. Like, and just like I even asked you before we started recording, I'm like, did you ever imagine you'd be doing this? And like, you were very real about it, which I liked. We are like, well, look, I don't know if I thought it was going to happen, but I really hoped it would. And I was like, what an honest answer. Like most people, like when you see like people who are successful being interviewed about, it, they're like, I never knew that. I'm like, you must have had some thought. Like you must have some feeling that was, like you generally have a pretty good feeling for this as people. So
yeah,
no, it's so cool the stuff that like that alone. If that's all you ever did, I'd be like, wow, what an impressive guy. But like knowing how much more there is to come, that's so cool to me.
yeah. No, no. I think it's like I feel like after like years ago, I just like we had like a real like slew of bad years. So I feel like I'm like on like going towards the top of the mountain. So I've been
Nice.
like I think that's where I'm at the moment on top of the mountain. Like going close to it.
Mm.
I feel like I'm more on the way up than at the bottom, which I mean like there's always a bigger mountain to climb. So
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer says he's going to climb the mountain. Not
yeah,
that one, just to the left.
yeah, yeah. It keeps me busy, which
But the
is
size of the mountain isn't important. Like it's because like if you're like achieving to be to have the success of like EA, for example, and I know EA aren't very popular in the gaming world anymore, but like that's a big brand name. Like that mountain is impossible. Like that's Mount Doom. But
Yeah,
just because you're not climbing that mountain doesn't mean your mountain's not impressive. Like because
yeah,
again, like we've talked about this time and time again on the show and privately as well. Like you're a one man army. Like I know you do. You won't take full responsibility. Like you do get people to help out with things like music and stuff like that. But like most of what you do is a solo effort. Like you don't have a building or an office with a team of people in there, like kind of cranking the numbers, working 9 to 5. Like you're the blood, sweat, and tears of your company. You're the one doing all the hard work. You're the one creating everything, designing everything, testing everything. Like
yeah,
and it's one person doing it and like it's working. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like meanwhile, like you see like major releases come out and then day one, like, oh, we have to release a patch. Like, and they had millions of people look at it. So
yeah. We'll see when I'm on the other side, and then we'll make a comment. But like, it's like I think,
you're very humble. You're like, oh,
yeah.
maybe we'll see.
No, well, the way I look at it is like you got to get experience, and I think I read something somewhere like you're going to fail more than you succeed, and that's why succeeding is special because the chance of you actually succeeding at everything is ridiculously impossible. So like you just keep going until you fail less. I don't know.
My favorite quote about failure, it's a Kevin Smith quote, of course, is that failure is just success training.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
yeah,
a really good way to look at it.
yeah, yeah. It's just the
It's
learning period until you
mm,
learn it, really.
no, that's very, very cool.
Mm.
I saw that this morning, and I was saying to you before, I was like, you didn't even like you told me like I've known about this for months. I was like, I never knew, and like we've spoken, like, and you like kept it so close to the chest, and it wasn't like I was like, how dare you not tell me? I was like, I can't believe you kept that secret. Like, I'm pretty good at keeping things quiet, but that one might have been tough.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
that's
I've
the
been sitting on a few things, and I'm just like, I just have to act like nothing's happening. It's like I'm just doing nothing,
mm,
because it's just like it feels like because we finally got settled into the new place, and I was like, oh, it's fine to talk about, but it's not really interesting. Like I was like the other day we tried to put up a gazebo, but it's obviously too windy in our place, so we took it down the next day. Like,
oh man, I can relate to that so much though. Like, it might not be working on the Dune risk game, but I can relate to that. I did a whole episode of the show by myself talking about how I turned my garage into a cinema. Like, I'm sure that was a snooze fest for people, but it's like, that's the content I had for you this week, and it's better to have something than nothing. And I'll talk
yeah,
about it and my only justification was like, well, if I tell you how much I spent and how I did it, then maybe someone will be like, hey, I can do that.
yeah,
Um, but otherwise, I might as well have been putting up a gazebo in windy weather as well, so don't stress.
yeah.
The other thing I need to talk to you about is on your very first episode of the podcast, I made fun of you for a movie, like not on purpose. I was just so surprised by a movie you mentioned. I've talked about this a lot on the show now, and that was you mentioned one of your favorites being artificial intelligence. As of last week, I have bought artificial intelligence, so it's going to come in the mail in the next week or so. I'm going to rewatch it, and I'll give you my honest review. So I'm going to give it another chance.
It's fucking good, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
no,
sure
I believe you.
it's
Yeah.
made by Stanley Kubrick. So like,
Well,
he started it. He started it, but I think he
mm,
died halfway through it. But like, fucking Jude Law is a sex bot, and
yeah.
it's just like no, I'm 100%. It's awesome. It's like it's just cool reversal of like a robot story.
I
It's
was
very
talking.
dark. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the problem I have. Because I was talking to Maddie about it because Maddie was on the show during the Apocalypse series, and one of her movies was Bicentennial Man.
yeah.
And I reacted very similarly. I was like, "Pfft, what are you talking
Oh,
about?" And then
yeah,
she talked me through it, and I was like, you know what? I think the reason why I made that response is because that movie really messed with me because as a kid I couldn't comprehend the idea of being the only one alive for 1,000 years, and that's really scary to me. And as I started talking through it, I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's why I reacted that way to artificial intelligence. It's not a bad movie. I don't dislike it. I'm scared of the ideas there, and I couldn't handle it. So
yeah.
once I had that realization, I was like, "All right, now I'm equipped to watch AI again." So I finally ordered it last week. So as soon as it comes through, you'll see it online. I'll post about it,
Yeah.
and then I'll give it a watch. So
Yeah, fucking that the ending of AI makes me cry every single
it's
time.
really depressing. It's
'Cause
really
it's like I wish people would make more endings like this because it's a really like happy sad ending where it's like he technically gets to the ending through formalities, and I
Yeah.
think it's really good. It's like one of my favorite endings of all time, and I just really love the kind of like just the dark world that this like character has to go through. Like it's
Mm,
just yeah.
yeah.
I just think it's an awesome movie. I don't care what anyone says. Like it's just yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's been like ever since that episode, it's been on a pre-order list for me. But then the site that I used to import from stopped delivering to Australia, and only in the last couple of months I found one that does ship to Australia from the UK. I was like, I'll give it a test, and I ordered some steel books, but I pre-ordered them, so I had to wait ages for them to come because they hadn't been released. Um, and the first one I pre-ordered was Loki, and it came over in one piece, but it was a little bit dinged up. I was like, I'll wait for One Division to come in, and if that comes through okay, it'll be right. And it arrived today. It only shipped last week. It took 7 days to get from the UK to Australia. It was in pristine condition. I was like, right, I'm ordering more stuff. So they're my new go-to now. And AI was the first one I hit order on. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, but I
That's
was like,
good.
I have to tell you, like the next on the list, they didn't have it in stock, but the next one will be Waterworld because that's something you've been telling me about for ages
Yes.
as well.
Fucking
So
yeah, cult classic. Like that movie is good. I mean, there's some plot problems, yeah, but like I'm surprised no one has bothered to remake that movie. Like honestly, like maybe they're
they
just
they
scared to touch it. But
they would
I
do it
just
all, like all CG now and stuff like that. You
yeah,
need to, do you know, you need to get George Miller, the guy who does Mad Max, like he needs to make
yeah,
Waterworld.
yeah. I fucking love Waterworld. Waterworld
Mm.
is good.
Yeah,
Everyone,
I've never seen it, but
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's like the plot is not great, but like the concept is good, and that's what I hold up.
Yeah, but that doesn't bother me. Like I don't like come a long way like since my pretentious approach to
Yeah.
movies. Like you don't need to give me a perfect film. Like perfect example, and you will roll your eyes at this. I went and saw Madam Web like opening weekend. I was like, so there's no way it's as bad as people say. It was like Morbius. Like I watched Morbius last year. Like there's just no way. It's physically impossibly as bad as people are making it out to be. Like people are overreacting. And I watched Morbius, and my biggest complaint about Morbius is that it wasn't as bad as people were saying it was. Like it was aggressively fine. I was like, oh, I wish this was worse. If this was worse, then I would have a lot more fun with it. But it's just kind of like middle of the road fine.
Yeah.
Madam Web, like, is like it's a weird movie. There's some weird choices in there, but the biggest flaw with that movie is it's marketed completely wrong. They're marketing it as a Spider-Man movie or like a Spider-Verse film.
Yeah.
It's not that. Like, there are Spider-Verse characters in it, but it's not a Spider-Verse film. Like, it's kind of like Final Destination. It's like a premonition thriller where like she kind of sees minutes into the future people dying and then has to use that ability to stop people from getting killed and stuff like that. Like, that's a cool concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just,
I
but
think the
like, I mean, look, the villain is not good. Like, I feel like he was dubbed the entire time because he's always using the same like monitor thing. It's like, we will get them. I need to get them now. Like, that's the way he talks the entire way through. I'm like, did you guys dub this, or did you just tell the guy, hey, just play it flat? Like, I'm not sure what's going on there. But aside from that, like the girls are all good in it. Like, like if that came out in 2004, people would be losing their minds over. They'd be like, Madam Web is the best film in 2004. But because it's 2024 and we've been spoiled, it's it's suffered a bit.
yeah.
But I also know I'm like the only one. I'm sure everyone else is like, James, you're an idiot. It sucks. And if that's the way they feel, that's fine.
I think the rule is if it's fun, then it kind of doesn't matter about story because it's like you see most of the Adam Sandler movies or like most comedies, like they get poor ratings,
Mm.
right? But the audience still loves them and they still get made for a reason. So it's like it doesn't have to be critically acclaimed. It can still be a fun movie. Like comedies are notorious for bad ratings.
I'm
You know,
always surprised when I look at like movies that I loved when I was younger and seeing how low they're rated. And
yeah,
like the average rating for movies that I love is between like 5 and 6 out of 10 on IMDb. Like I'm not
yeah,
even kidding. Like there's the brilliant stuff, like anything with Christopher Nolan, obviously he's going to be higher results. Anything with like an acclaimed director, but otherwise, like most of the stuff that I dig, it's always between like 5 and 6 out of 10. Um, and that's why like the philosophy of this show is so important to me. Because it's like, don't listen to ratings and reviews. Like, don't even listen to my reviews. I always say, like, often say that in my own reviews. I'm like, don't listen to my reviews. Like, that's what I thought. Spend your own money and decide for yourself. Because, like, why would you let someone tell you what you like? That's such a weird business model that we've just embraced for the last 60, 70 years. Like, we'll pay
I mean,
people for them to tell us what we like. It's like, why?
and also you watch movies at different times for different reasons. Like
Yeah.
like you're like, oh, I'm in a fun mood, so I'll watch this movie, or like I feel like watching Batman again, the trilogy, because I don't get my dark Batman fix, or like I really like Tim Burton's, Beetlejuice, so I'll watch that, which, because like Beetlejuice is in the movie for a total of like 8 minutes or something. But
I
like,
watched it for the first time last year, I think, and I really liked it. But my least favorite moments of Beetlejuice was when Beetlejuice was in the movie. I was like, get him off screen. That and like the banana song, like I was
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like apparently, like Tim Burton hated that, but it tested really well with audiences, and I was like, yeah, with dumb audiences, like that's so.
Well, I heard, Wayne's World. I heard that with the Queen bit where they were rocking in the thing, it wasn't even going to be in the movie, and what's his face hated it, but some other creative decided to put it in, and like that's the most iconic thing from the Wayne's World movie.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is funny. It's like or like the In-Betweeners movie. Like everyone who worked on that movie, their least favorite scene is the dance sequence
Ah,
because they had really nothing to do with it, but it is the funniest joke. Like it is really funny.
yeah, yeah.
I just rewatched those this year as well. Both of those movies, they're so good,
Oh,
man. Like they really hold
appreciate it.
up.
It's good.
Um, nice one. So 2000s, we talked about a little bit, but is there like any particular memory of the 2000s? Anything about the 2000s that really kind of resonates with you? We're like, yeah, this is my decade, or did we kind of
Yeah.
like what are your kind of thoughts and
Um,
feelings on?
well, like just this, well, the super bad movies. So as I said before, like Seth Rogen,
Mm,
James Franco, Jonah Hill, um, Jim Carrey as well, all the Jim Carrey movies. That was big for me. Inglorious Bastards, Memento,
mm.
like all the movies I've talked about before. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think so? Did you repeat stuff on your list, or did you find a way to
No,
do it?
so the way I think about the 2000s, there's
Mm,
certain movies that I think define the 2000s, like the rom-coms, the kind of like like the lowbrow comedies, or like Will Ferrell, all that. But my list, I felt like you'd already have people who have done that, so I decided to just do my favorite movies, regardless if they felt more 2000y or not.
I think the only Will Ferrell film we've had so far is Step Brothers. That did come up, but
Yeah,
otherwise it's been like yeah, it's been very eclectic. Like I don't think anyone said the same movie. We only had four people do it, like including myself. But
yeah.
there's been no double up at all. Yeah, like everyone's brought different
Oh,
stuff to it. So
yeah. Pirates was on my list, but I saw it come up last week,
it was on
so.
my list. Yeah, I said to
Yeah.
Tina, and she's like, "Really?" I was like, "That first movie is brilliant.
That
Like
first
it's."
movie is fucking good. Yeah.
I rewatched two and three, and they're not as
Like,
bad as I.
no, two and three are awesome. I don't care what people say. Like, that story with Davy Jones is fucking good. And the CGI is like top tier, better than fucking stuff now. I'm swearing
Yeah,
a lot tonight, but
yeah, that's okay. That's totally fine. Yeah, I rewatched them because I hadn't seen them since cinemas, and I remember when I first saw part two, I was like, it's not bad. And three, I really didn't like. I saw that with Tina and some uni friends. But when I rewatched them this year, I was like, you know what? Like, and that's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm going through a lot of movies that I saw when I was younger and I'd written off, and I'm giving them a second chance,
yeah,
and I'm really finding things to enjoy in it. And look, nothing's going to top the first Pirates film. Like, it
uh,
was so unexpected. We hadn't seen anything like that. I was saying to Tina, it was kind of like our version of Indiana Jones. Like, it was just like with this
yeah.
cool adventure.
Hey,
Like, there's no
yeah,
characters like Jack Sparrow. Like, it's so unique.
yeah.
Um, but
Also,
two and
yeah.
three are good. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Also, if you want to see a worse Pirates movie than two and three, it's number four with Blackbeard. Like, I still,
I saw that in theater. I've seen all. Actually, I've seen every
yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean movie in
The
theaters.
newest one's better.
Mm.
Like, but they put Jack a little bit too front and center, I feel.
And that's the thing. He's not the main character. Like he's.
Yeah,
And I think that's the problem I had with two and three. The first time I watched them, it was a lot of Jack because he was so popular from the first one.
yeah, yeah,
But it's like no, no, no. Like there's a reason why Hannibal Lecter and Beetlejuice. I mean, obviously I didn't like Beetlejuice, but there's a reason why those characters work. Is you just pepper them through just do little let
yeah,
them have their moments. And like, obviously in the first movie, he's in it for most of the film, but he's almost like in his own movie. He's like a side character doing his own quest, like parallel to everyone else's story.
yeah.
Um,
I think he's best written when he can propel the story forward without
mm,
the main character's having to do so. Like,
Mm,
is the character there kind of like making it interesting, or having the knowledge, or doing something crazy that is like the catalyst for like the and then this happens and then this happens kind of
yeah.
thing.
And the great one of the greatest moments in that first film for me is the whole initial duel between Will Turner and Jack Sparrow in the
Yeah,
blacksmith. Like, and he's got there, like, it's so great. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
so perfectly done. And
Yeah.
and I think like Elizabeth, I was talking about this last week, but Elizabeth Swann is such an underrated character.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
never hear
No,
people talk about it, but like the stuff that she does in each of those films, like she's smart and she's funny and like she will drink heavily, like to be one of the pirates, but to like take advantage of them and stuff. Like, and then she ends up being the pirate king. Like, there's so many. Like, yeah, it's yeah.
her her um her story arc over the three movies is probably one of the best female kind of like stories, from
Mm,
going from a place where you're kind of in a man's world, being told what to do, forced to marry, where she kind of like, you know, escapes that and defines her own life through,
mm,
through the story. I feel like it's really well told. Like
mm,
that's her story, and her like, yeah, like how she starts and how she ends up is really good.
mm.
Um,
And Jeffrey Rush is so good in it as well.
oh
Like,
yeah,
it's like I've just watched them all, and I'm like, man, like I could watch them all again straight away.
yeah.
Like the
Also, they made pirates cool. Like there hadn't been any pirates
yeah.
like that in ages. Like that, I think Count of Monte Cristo was like the last one.
Count of Cristo came out, I think, in 2001. It's not really a pirate movie. It's got like it's probably closer to like Three Musketeers. It's kind of like that. I would say before that maybe Hook in the early '90s, which I still haven't seen actually Hook. But that was probably like the like obviously, and that's not really a pirate film. It's got Captain Hook in
Yeah.
it.
But yeah,
But
they
like
definitely made pirates cool again. Yeah.
like I'm trying to think. Like Goonies is about pirate treasure, but there's not really a lot of pirates in it. There's not a lot of swashbuckling action.
I was reading people wouldn't touch the theme. Like it just seemed like a silly thing.
Yeah, but they've executed it so well. Kind of like how like the cowboy genre's kind of come back in the last decade or
Yeah.
so. They've been doing more.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason those genres were so popular. Like there's so much in them. It's just about taking the time to tell a good story, find some entertaining characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Do you know what else I really love from the 2000s? The Prestige. I feel like
yes, it's such
I,
an underrated
yeah,
Nolan flick. No one
it's
ever
like
talks.
my perfect movie. I
Mm.
feel like, yeah, and Wally as well. Like I really like Wally and Inglourious Bastards.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's such a good
It's
decade.
so good. I'm just looking at like all the good, like all the watch movies from the 2000s.
Like we were talking about in our honorable mentions last week, I was talking about like I'd barely touched on the Apatow comedies, but like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I Love You Man,
Yeah, yeah,
like like, all those ones, man. One movie that was on my list was Borat, which I think is like maybe one of the funniest movies ever made. Team America came out in the
yeah.
2000s.
Team America. That almost made my list.
Yeah. And I was saying to Tina, like I think the beauty of the 2000s is such a great decade that ask me any day of the week and I could find five equally good films to replace my list. Like it's such a great decade.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we should jump into our list. So what is number 5 on your list of 2000s movies?
So I'm gonna start with Jim Carrey, and it's The Internal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I was waiting for this one to come up. I knew someone had to. It's
I feel like this is like thematically 2000s to 2010s. Like that's the kind of movies I think about. That kind of summarize like that kind of period.
mm,
And this movie's kind of cool because it's kind of takes like a relationship movie, or the kind of romantic genre, and kind of gets a little bit weird with it.
mm. Yeah, it's got like a real science fiction element to it. That
Yeah,
works really well.
yeah. And I like Jim Carrey in it because it's just obviously like a different side of his acting. And he did a few movies in the 2000s, like The Majestic I liked, but it went for a little bit too long.
That's the one where
Um,
he's like the returning war hero, but or they think he is, and
yeah,
yeah, that was I really enjoyed that one as well. I think he was the first, obviously not the first comedy actor to go and do straight drama, but I think he was the first of that era to like take the plunge.
yeah,
And it really paid off for Jim Carrey. Like everything he did, like in that genre, I think worked really well for him.
Yeah, but yeah, I like this because it's kind of like, the kind of relationship things where they're like trying to forget each other, or like he finds out that she like blanked her memory, so he goes and does it too, but like something wrong happens, and then they kind of discover each other again. It's kind of like a really, um, it's like it's just interesting to watch. I think it's just kind of fun to see it play out, and you want to know how it ends, and
It's like romantic Memento.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah,
And who are the scientists? Is Mark Ruffalo one of the scientists?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I think one of them like start like uses Carrey's character to Jim Carrey's character's memories to kind of hook up with his ex. Um, takes advantage of the situation. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
It's yeah, it kind of started this wave of like indie style rom-coms where like almost like boy rom-coms. Like there's almost like a subgenre of like
yeah,
boy rom.
yeah, yeah,
Like you had that, you had like Garden State, um, uh, Ruby Sparks, Little Miss Sunshine, which isn't a rom com, but I think it falls into that genre. And Little Miss Sunshine was on my list. I think it's a wonderful movie. But
yeah,
like 500 Days of Summer, like all those kind of like
yeah,
the boy in love movie. But I think it really starts with this one, and it's been a couple of years since I've seen it, but it it's got some really good funny moments, but just a tearjerker. Like it's so like, and not just that it's sad, it's just beautifully told. And like as you said, like I don't know where Jim Carrey came up with that. I don't know where he pulled that performance from, but like it's insane how good he is in that. Like just seeing that vulnerability as opposed to him just being like the rubber faced maniac, like and doing crazy
yeah.
things.
You know which other thing he's been in that like really got me? It's that TV show he did where he's like a kids show host with like puppets. I forgot what it's called. It's called maybe Mr. Squiggles or something. I can't remember it. But
I'll look it up while we're talking.
yeah, but like that TV show, you have to watch it because it's pretty raw. Um,
I'm just looking it up now.
yeah, the ending gets so heavy. Like I couldn't do it because like obviously it had been going through something similar.
Oh,
Um,
is it Kidding?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You
so
should watch it. Yeah, it's really good.
so that show you said ends quite dark.
Not dark, but like it's pretty. It gets pretty heavy. I mean, it's heavy all the way through. But
Oh, okay, yep. Yep. For some reason, because I thought you were talking about something else. I thought that you went like when you were younger. But
um,
now I'm on this. Yep, I know what you're talking
yeah, yeah.
about. Yeah, all right. I gotta give it a go. I do. I'm so out of the loop with Jim Carrey stuff. I've seen bits and pieces. Like the last Jim Carrey thing I probably watched was like Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
which I really enjoyed actually. I've got to go back and watch too.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like I think I've been on the record before saying like I wasn't the biggest Jim Carrey fan, but at the same time, I've never watched a Jim Carrey film that I haven't enjoyed. I can't think of a single movie of his that I haven't liked. So
yeah. Have you
yeah,
seen the Man on the Moon documentary?
not the documentary, but I've seen Man on the Moon, and that's
Yeah,
amazing. Like
yeah,
the whole thing where he's like doing the record play thing, and it's like there's like, and now the movie is over, and the credits start rolling like 3 minutes into the movie.
yeah.
Um,
The documentary is like crazier and better than the movie.
yeah, wasn't he like really kind of like method with it? And he like would go
Yeah,
around telling people he was like Andy Kaufman reincarnated and stuff. I
yeah,
sent you a clip the other day. Did you see the thing of like him like being like like a hippie and stuff? It's like there's lots of mighty fine women in the audience. Like I
yeah,
and I think I sent you another one. There's an interview with him, and they're like, "Isn't it amazing to be like at the awards tonight?" And he's like, "All of this is meaningless. We're all gonna die." And I was like, and he's playing it so straight. I don't know whether he's just doing these things to entertain himself. Like I don't know if
yeah,
is he okay? Is he having a breakdown, or is he just doing it to be weird? Like he's such an enigma of a human being.
yeah.
Um,
Nah, he's good.
but that's a
Um,
great
he
flick if you
always
want something.
stood out to me, and I feel like yeah, there's a lot of movies from this era that contain Jim Carrey.
Yeah, like you could have done like your top five movies from 2000s and the 90s for that matter could have just been all Jim Carrey films.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
One of my favorite Jim Carrey performers actually is in Kick-Ass 2. Even though he went on to
um,
like he
yeah,
went on to like kind of talk poorly about the film later and like kind of deny that film. He's great in it.
Yeah, I would like him to come back and do a superhero
Yeah.
movie.
Colonel Stars and Stripe. Yeah, you got a dog on your balls. Like what a great like voice like decision and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, he's great in it. Yeah, I really like that performance. And Zoe saw what did she see recently? She saw a clip of The Mask somewhere, or she saw like an image of The Mask, and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, Dad's going to show you that one day. The Mask is insane. Like a dog puts on the mask and wheezes on the bad guys." And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." Can we watch it now? No, it's too weird for you right now, kiddo. But one day.
yeah,
Um,
nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I didn't explain to her it's also the debut of Cameron Diaz in that red dress, which everyone our age was like, "Who is this goddess?" Um,
yeah,
we didn't really talk about Eternal Sunshine too much. We talked a lot about Jim Carrey, which I'm okay with.
yeah.
Um, which
I
brings us
think,
to. Oh, God,
yeah,
sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say like that movie's pretty simple, but I think
Mm.
like it's good as a simple movie, but I think like the emotion in that movie kind of takes over the plot, and it's kind of good that you didn't need that much plot because it's filled with like a lot of human experiences
I,
throughout.
I remember the first time I tried to watch it was probably when it came out, actually, because what would happen is that when I would go to live at my mum's house, every second weekend, we'd go and do like a huge video rental like every weekend, every time I was over there. That was pretty common with both my parents. Like we'd do a big movie night or whatever. And we rented it and I was really excited to watch it. And we got 15 minutes in, my mum turned it off. She's like, "This sucks." And like she just couldn't get her head around. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't think to try and watch it by myself. So it wasn't until like 2017, I think I finally watched it. And I was like, this movie is incredible. And my mum was wrong for turning this off. Like this is a great movie. Um, and yeah, made me cry a lot. So
Yeah.
nice, man. What's number 4 on your list?
Okay, so I've been waiting for you to do like a thriller um like theme
Mm,
section, but I don't know if it's gonna come or like I'm gonna have to wait years. So I've been holding on to this because I really like psychological thrillers, and if
mm,
they're like a little bit more mysterious and like almost like just tip on the end, like what I'm talking about is like Shutter Island, like it's kind of like a
mm.
little bit mystical. Is there like it's a little bit fantasy, like on the edge of fantasy, where you don't know whether you know something else is happening, but. Identity is like one of my favorite
What a flick!
yeah, thrillers, like psychological thrillers, and it's a horror movie as well. Like,
That's a perfect example. Like before, we're talking about like weird
yeah,
movies that just kind of came out of nowhere. Like you wouldn't get Identity today.
no,
It's too weird, and not that the film itself is weird, although the twist is crazy.
yeah,
Um, but it's like it's a lot of like kind of big name actors in independent film. Like,
yeah,
because like John Cusack is the lead of this film. I
yeah,
remember like, was the poster art like a bloody handprint, and then all the faces were like in the fingers? Is that what it
yeah,
was?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Like you would hear radio ads, like that's how old we are. It's like, oh, you listen to the radio, but like you'd be driving and then like identity, you don't know who's coming or something like that. It was like,
yeah. I just like the premise of it. I'm like, so for me, I only like horror movies when there's like psychological thrillers, and they have to be like really smart as well. So like I said, Shutter Island is like
oh, so
the
good.
level of like what I want from like a psychological horror. And like Seven, like that's the kind of
Mm.
horror I go for.
Yeah, and I would throw something like Get Out in there as well. Like I think that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, same thing, yeah. So for me, I don't see everyone like in like a motel on a rainy evening where there's no phone reception, and someone's killing everyone. That's like really cool, but then there's like, some kind of like twist that's going on. And it kind of plays out very normal until it starts getting halfway through, and then it gets weirder. And like that's one of my favorite endings of all time as well, where you can't ever talk about the ending because you just
Yeah.
ruin the entire movie. So I don't want to talk about the ending. I'm glad you've seen it.
Yeah,
Um,
it came out while I think it came out like while I was working in the video store. Like, because back then, like, it would take almost a year for movies to come out. So it was a 2003 film, but like I was working in the video store in 2004, and it came out. Um, and it was a huge. Like, it wasn't like a big. I don't think it was a big success in theaters, but it was a big renter. Like people would rent that movie like all the time because yeah. they ordered like 60 copies or whatever, because like that's what you could do that back then. In 2004, you could get 60 copies of a DVD and they'd all like get rented. Like it was crazy. Like listen to the cast, like John Cusack, Ray Liotta, like
Yeah,
Amanda Peet, Alfred Molina, Claire Duvall, John C. McGinley, Dr. Cox from Scrubs,
yeah.
Jake Busey. And Jake Busey was like, I'll say this much without spoiling it, like he was cast because he was very obviously going to be the villain. Like the whole time you're like, well, it's obviously him. Um, and then they do what they do. Oh, it was directed by James Mangold, who did Logan.
Oh shit.
Um, oh, I didn't know it was James Mangold. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
He that's cool. I haven't seen it since it came out. It's been about 20 years since I've watched Identity, but
yeah,
I still remember that ending. And I remember it blowing my goddamn mind. I was like,
yeah,
what do you
yeah,
I was like, what do you mean that's what? What do you mean that's the ending? What do you mean? Like, the Jennifer Lawrence thing, that's what I was
yeah,
like, what do you mean?
yeah. And the best thing about this movie is they don't like show you. They don't. You never see it coming. And I hate
Yeah.
when like they don't surprise you. You like because like Beck can tell me the plot. Beck's just like she can tell me the plot of a movie within 10 minutes of seeing a movie. She's like, this is gonna happen, and because these people have talked or brought up this is what's gonna happen. And it was like she can ruin movies for me like easily. And I was like, to just have a movie where you don't know what's gonna happen is like really good. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I did that with Phone Booth. I remember we were watching Phone Booth, my mum and I.
yeah,
I'm like, oh, this is gonna
yeah,
happen. This because everyone was losing their mind. Like another one, like Phone Booth was one of those films which like people lost their mind when it came out on DVD in the movie in the video store. And I was watching it because it was like, it's amazing. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh well, this will probably happen. I think this will probably happen. And my mum's like, have you seen this? I'm like, no, I just think this is gonna happen. It was the first time I predicted like every beat in a film, and I was like, I ruined it for myself. I didn't mean to. I was just like, oh no, like I ruined it for myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, Identity's like. Yeah, 2000 for me. I just remember seeing it and I was like, damn, like this is a good movie. Like,
That's such a great example of what that decade had to offer. Like that's a perfect example of a 2000s film. Like it's low budget and probably not low budget. Like I didn't look it up, but it probably wasn't like 5 million. It's probably like 30, 40 million
um,
dollars to make. But like big names in it, shot in a very grimy way.
yeah,
Um, has like a very 2000s tone, and the tone of a 2000s film is very hard to describe. Like 80s, you get straight away. You can look at a frame from an 80s film and get the vibe of it. 90s, it's got a very like kind of brown palette, that sort of thing.
yeah. Like,
But
hang on. Horror movies and sci-fi, black, dull,
mm,
glasses, leather jackets, jeans.
yeah,
Comedies, white background covers. Comedies, white background covers. Romantic movies, white background covers.
yeah.
Light pastel colors.
Here you go. Identity. The budget was $28 million. So that's right in the ballpark. I said about 30 million. I said like you get those
Yeah.
small $30 million. So there you go, 28 million. It made $90 million. It made 3 times its budget back.
Well, that's
Like
that's a positive for them. Yeah.
Like, how did they not like? If that was made 5 years later, if that was made in 2008, they'd be franchising it. They'd be
Yeah.
like, where's Identity 2? We need Identity 2. We need Identity 3. Like, that's what they'd be doing. They'd be like, where's our Identity universe?
Yeah.
Um, like they'd be treating it like how they treated Paranormal Activity, but instead, it was so I was wrong. I thought it wasn't very successful, but it was hugely successful. 3 times its budget. Like
Yeah.
that's the dream. Like
That's
for
that's that's the mark that everyone kind of sets. You have to hit 3 times the budget, really.
like when Avengers Endgame or even Infinity War, like when those movies made $2 billion each, people were like, yes, that's amazing. But it cost $1 billion to make those two movies. So they had to like get $1 billion in revenue just to get their budget back before they could even start making money. Like this movie tripled its budget, and I guarantee you pull 10 people aside on the street at random, they won't know what Identity is. But it was
Uh,
such a big movie at the time.
yeah.
Um, oh man, you're dredging up memories of stuff that I really want to watch. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you mentioned Identity.
I went through a list of like just to watch like 2000s movies, and I have a whole list now. That's why I watched Burn After Reading, because I was like, I'd never find time to watch this now, but I was like, I want to go back and watch 2000 movies now because
Mm.
I feel like there's something about them that are more like I don't know what like dense to like the stuff now, man. Like I can't. Some of the stuff I can't stomach. I was like, this is just shallow. Like it's not.
I think a big part of it is the technology. The technology's gotten really good, but at the same time, this is such a focus on the the technological visuals, that but the art of storytelling. I don't think it's been lost because like last year had brilliant movies in it. It was a great year for movies, but at the same time, like the my favorite movie from last year was Poor Things. I don't know if you've seen Poor Things, the Emma Stone movie.
Oh no, no.
Um, so the concept of it, Poor Things is no longer in theaters. So I'll spoil the concept of it for you, but it doesn't really ruin the movie. Is Willem Dafoe plays like a Dr. Frankenstein. It's a very much a Frankenstein movie. Like he
Yeah,
plays a Dr. Frankenstein type character, and we meet this young man who's kind of learning to be a surgeon at Willem Dafoe's surgery, or like at practice, sorry. And Willem Dafoe invites him back to his house, and Emma Stone's there, and he's like, "This is." I can't remember the character's name now, but it's like she's kind of my daughter. And at first, you think she's mentally handicapped because she's running around, she's like peeing on the floor, she's riding tricycles and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, it's this weird story of like a mentally handicapped girl. 'Cause I didn't watch the trailers, I just went in blind. And
yeah,
then what you find out about a third of the way into the film is that one night Willem Dafoe was walking down through the town and found the body of a mother who committed suicide. So a woman jumped off a bridge, Emma Stone jumped off a bridge, and when he rolled her over, she was pregnant. She was dead, but the baby wasn't. So he transplants the baby's brain into a grown woman's head, and that's why she's weird. And that's the premise of the film.
my God.
But it's like it's not CGI heavy. Everything's done on sets. Like the backgrounds are painted. Like it's just all about like these weird characters and like their weird decisions, and it's so refreshing.
Yeah,
Um, like that was my favorite movie. So like there is cool weird stuff being made,
yeah,
but again, like because I think especially because of the pandemic, they're like we need like 7 more Spider-Man movies. Like let's get people back in the movie theaters.
yeah,
But like it's a sad loss is that the era of the $30 million like weird movie seems to be done. Like it was such a great period. Like and again, like only in the 2000s. Like you got a little bit in the 90s, but in the 2000s they were mass producing them. Like remember like Runaway Jury? Like that's another like John Cusack film. Like I just remember from the trailers again on the radio, "You're losing me, my jury." Like that was the catchphrase. Or like Queen of the Damned, or
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was so. And I don't want like I'm worried that I'm going to start saying movies that might be on your list, but it's just like it was such a wonderful. And like if people weren't on our age, if people weren't going to the video store, because that's where you had to go. You couldn't see all this stuff in movies. You had to go to the video store, and you'd find these weird things, kind of kind of low budget, middle of the range budget films, and they were just wonderful. Like remember Darkness Falls and the Tooth Fairy,
yeah, yeah,
like. And it had like the girl from Buffy in it, but like she wasn't the main. She wasn't Buffy, and she was like the main girl from Buffy. She was like the other girl from Buffy, and like she like Xander's wife or girlfriend,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like yeah, like I remember like I'm feeling very nostalgic talking about the
yeah.
2000s. Like it's such a great decade. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted
And
there.
Anchorman as well. Just
Anchorman,
Shaun of the
yeah,
Dead. Like just that's what I'm saying. Like comedies like that where it's just like the stupidest shit. Like
yeah. Bruce Almighty, like
yeah,
going back to Jim Carrey again, like that was the introduction to Steve Carell for most people.
yeah.
The whole like like the weird
Back
like
when it
in
was
Bruce Almighty, Jim Carrey walks down the street and blows wind so it reveals like a woman's underpants, and people are like, "Oh, comedy gold." Whereas now you're like, "Oh, did you have to do that?" Like,
yeah. Oh, the Bond series. Yeah.
which one?
The Bond series as well.
Yeah,
Just
I've actually only ever seen the first Bourne movie, but I really liked it.
yeah. First Bond movie is good.
Yeah, and then I thought you said Bond, and I'm like, that's right. They redid the Bond franchise in the 2000s.
Yeah.
2006, you get the first Daniel Craig Bond, which is
Yeah, which
amazing.
is good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like if I don't know. I was gonna say I reckon most of my movies on my shelf are from the 2000s, but I don't know if that's entirely true. It's a pretty eclectic mix, but I love that. I love that decade so much. It's kind of crazy we waited this long to do this decade. Like, when are our favorite movies out? 2000s. We'll do that later.
Yeah,
Like,
that's good. Yeah, like I said, it was really like there's a lot of movies, but like I looked and most of the movies that were from this era were already done.
yeah.
Like,
Panic Room is another one.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
I've only seen that once, and I
So
can't.
I
Someone
think
talked about it on the podcast.
yeah,
I can't remember who it was who talked about it. I think someone did. Um, yeah, it's a weird one for sure.
it is.
Curious even.
Yeah,
Um, what is number 3 on your list, Josh?
it is Hot Rod.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, so I bought this. I bought this recently because I just needed to watch it again. It's a really good movie. I think it falls short of something like a perfect like silly comedy from that era, but it's pretty good. Like it's just a movie about nothing,
It
and it's really funny.
It's so fun. I remember because you messaged me like, "Hey, is there a way for me to get Hot Rod because it wasn't available in Australia?" And I remember sending you this really long message, like really long, like, "Here's what I do, here's where I go." And the last one was like, or you go to Amazon, and you were like, "Oh yeah, Amazon." And I was like, "Why did I bother sending all that? I should just start with Amazon."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I remember. I don't know if you were there with us. I was with Tina and my brother because Tina and I didn't live together yet. I was still living at home. And one day we went to JB Hi-Fi after work or like on a weekend or whatever, and we just gotten into the Lonely Island. So
yeah,
obviously Andy Samberg's like rap group, and we were walking around JB Hi-Fi, and then just like in like a little display, like a little box or whatever, just like random movies. At the corner of my eye, I saw it. I'm like, is that the Lonely Island guy? And we're all going like, that's the Lonely Island, and it's like $6, and we're like, let's just buy it. Like, how bad could it be? And we were in tears the entire time. Like that whole Cool Bean sequence
yeah, yeah.
is so funny. Like, 'cause you've never seen anything like that in a movie before.
No,
Like, and watching it now, you're like, oh, that's an SNL type thing. Like, that's where they
yeah,
would have got that idea. That's like Ian McShane, Blackbeard from Pirates of the
yeah,
Caribbean 4. Like, it's just this aggressively like horrible father, like who
yeah.
only wants to fight his son, and like the whole idea is that they're going to get him like raise money to heal him just so he can fight him is crazy.
And the bit where he's like, "Hi, my name is Rod, and I like to party," and
Yeah.
then his brother does the same.
My name is Dave. I like to party. No, you do not party. I'm the only one who parties. I'm Kevin. Hi, I'm Rod. No, you're Kevin. That's right. I party. No, you do not party.
Yeah, there's just it's so good, and Bill Hader and Danny McBride as well.
When he's like pushing him into the van, or like every scene has a great moment. Now I'm not legit. I was too legit to quit. Um, Will Arnett is like the like jerk boyfriend. Babe, babe, no, babe.
Hey, oh, it's so funny.
Or
I
their
like,
buddy, I can't remember the buddy's name, but he's the Asian guy, and he's just like humping the air all the time.
oh my god, yeah,
He's like throwing the flyers everywhere.
yeah. Just like they meet him at the pool, and he's just like wants to be part of the group. He's just like dancing in the background for way too long.
It's I think I think I've watched that once a year for the last few years. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and like it's again like it just embraces its silliness. Like it's just deliberately silly. Like it's not trying to be clever. Like and like that's one thing. Like you see a lot of people try to do smart comedy, and I like smart comedy. I like highbrow comedy, but like there's just something about like we're just gonna say and do dumb things and see what happens. And like Hot Rod is a perfect example of that. Just like knowing exactly what it is and just trying to make you laugh at doing dumb things. It's just like, yeah, this is great.
yeah, yeah. So good.
And Chris
And
Parnell as the record
yeah,
like
yeah.
the guy. I can't
I
remember his
really,
dialogue now, but he's funny.
I
Sorry,
really like Danny McBride in it as well. I mean, he plays the same character in every movie, but
but it works. Like every time he shows up, like the best Danny McBride performance is obviously in This Is the End, where he plays himself. Like that's probably the best version of him. But he's great in
yeah,
everything. I
yeah,
don't mind that he does the same thing. Like he does it well and it always makes me laugh. So,
yeah. No, it's good.
did you ever see Popstar?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. Did
I
you
think
like
it's
that one?
funny. I think it's funny, but it's not as funny as like other Andy Samberg stuff.
I feel like it's the first time I watched it. I felt like I thought it was really good, but it missed the mark. And
Yeah,
then every time I've watched it since, like I'm like, no, it gets better with each viewing. Like I really like it. And Jay from the Inbetweeners is in. He's one of the like groupie guys.
yeah.
Where like they make like he makes like the dog turd pancakes. Like, oh yeah, no, it's really good. Like, what are you talking about? This tastes awful.
Yeah, yeah,
Hot Rod's a good call. I'm so glad, and I reckon you'll be the only person to mention Hot Rod. I don't expect any of the other
yeah,
people to come on and talk about it. It's such a or Identity for that matter. Like your mainstream one was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I wouldn't even say is that mainstream. But these two, like these are all fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, man.
Okay.
Number two.
Oh, okay. Tropic Thunder. Now this,
Yes, I was wondering if it
yeah,
would come up.
I wasn't gonna put it in, but I was like, no, like this movie's too good, like just to leave out. Because I was like, I could put other movies in there, but I was like, no, 2000s and 2010s for me were like comedy movies. So I was like, it has to go in. And I was like, this movie is like the funniest action movie of all time. The funniest like comedy action movie of all time.
I just watched it recently, like in the last few months. It was one of the last things I watched last year, and I couldn't believe how well it held up. I remember I went and saw it in theaters, and you and I were talking, and because we loved Ben Stiller, like, that we really loved Ben Stiller, but he had just like a slew of films we hadn't really dug. Like I think he kind of gone, like Meet the Parents was good, but then I think he made like Meet the Fockers, and he'd done a couple of like more mainstream kind of family comedies, and we weren't really digging it. And then I went and saw Tropic Thunder, and I was like, hey. I know you weren't have been happy with Ben Stiller. I think you'll really love Tropic Thunder. Like it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
And I remember we watched it together a few times, but
Yeah, no, it's so funny. I like how Jack Black kind of plays a different kind of character as well.
mm,
Like I know he plays someone funny, but it's kind of like a more serious take. Um, like he's very like what's the word? Like I mean they've done well with doing their kind of like stereotypes of like actors and stuff, but I definitely feel like Jack Black plays like a mature, funny kind of role instead of just like a dumb, funny role in this movie.
I agree. When I was because I didn't know, I don't know if I would have picked up on it the first time I saw the film, but when I was watching it last year again, I was like, it's a very different role because it's also Jack Black playing quite an unlikable character. Like he's funny in it, but
Yeah,
he's not a good character. Like he's a jerk.
uh,
Like he's mean to
yeah,
everyone, except for like when he's really like coming off the drugs and he's just like offering his body to everyone. That's genius. But it is a very different because normally Jack Black, even when he's like a schlub in movies, he's always generally quite likable. But in
yeah,
this, it's like no, he's not likable at all, and he looks so weird with his blonde buzz cut.
yeah. It really makes me laugh when I see him in that wig.
And the whole is it the fatties? Is that what the movie's called?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the reverse.
Clumps.
Yeah, the Eddie Murphy take.
His old woman character is so upsetting, which is like, ooh, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, like it's just funny. Like Robert Downey Jr. is like
that's insane. Like he got nominated for an Academy like Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor that year. Like like it's insane that like they got away with that, and
I
like,
think yeah, I think the theming of the movie was correct because like it's a movie about Hollywood and
mm,
its contradictories, and I think that's why they were able to get away with it because it's so absurd and
yeah,
it knows it's absurd and making commentary at the same time.
mm,
Because like the movie opens with like Ben Still with like in the Arctic with like two guns and like two like panda like
yeah,
like in like little Eskimo suits on his chest.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's got such a great supplementary cast as well. Like Jay Baruchel is excellent. Like he's always really good actually. Like he's in a lot of the Seth Rogen stuff as well. He's like one of Seth Rogen's
yeah,
best friends, but for whatever reason, he didn't quite. Like, I was say he didn't quite get the career that like the others did. I mean, he is the main guy in How to Train Your Dragon, which is a huge franchise. But like he didn't quite get the comedy career of like Seth Rogen and those guys for some reason. But he's so good. Like he's so
yeah.
enjoyable. And then like
I feel like he kind of doesn't like the limelight. If he's like anything like his character in the end, if he's
yeah,
playing
I
himself
do agree with you
accurately,
actually. He probably is a lot
I
like
feel
that.
like he doesn't. Yeah, really. Yeah, I feel like it's like really. it's true to his character in that movie. And
Mm.
that's probably why he's like the entry point to that world.
I really liked him in She's Out of My League. I don't know if you ever saw that one, but there was like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
movie.
I've seen
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah,
I really liked him in that. And then you've got with Tom Cruise, obviously, as like the exec.
yeah,
So funny, like so good. Like
yeah,
one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances. I completely forgot that Matt McConaughey was in it, like as
yeah,
the agent. Like there's just so many huge names and it's
yeah.
crazy.
I like how the movie still takes itself seriously. So they're like, we've got all these like prima donna, like actors, how
Mm,
are we going to get better performances out of them because they're too busy fighting amongst themselves. So they're like, okay, let's just like throw them into the wild properly and get a better performance. So it's like it's really good
mm.
how it doesn't go it balances out like the story and the action with the comedy and it makes the comedy better because it's like obviously what they're doing is like so stupid, the characters are so stupid in a serious situation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with that. And I really like how because the whole idea is that like we're making an award-winning picture. It's going to be an award-winning picture, and then like at the end you do see them get Academy Awards, but it's not for the movie they were making. Like I liked how they kind of like flipped it on its head a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, we haven't talked about Simple Jack, but Simple Jack is oh, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
yeah, I love it when actors aren't afraid to like make fun of themselves and make fun of their industry because it is interesting because it is treated so seriously. Like Hollywood and cinema is treated so seriously, but like it's a bunch of grown adults making pretend for a living. Like it's
Yeah.
a weird like paradox. So I really enjoy when people kind of make fun of themselves, and this may be one of the best films that does that. It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the bit where it's like Robert Downey Jr. goes, "Do you mean my people?" And then like the other kind of like
Al
African
Pacino.
American. Sorry.
His name's Al Pacino. Al Pacino, and
Yeah.
he has booty sweat. That's his energy drink, whatever.
So what do you mean my people?
Our people, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Oh man, that's an insane movie. But yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned it. And it seems like it's got a real like cult following. People seem to really still like that movie, which is good because it swings for the fences. It does some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Danny McBride again playing Danny McBride just blowing
Yeah.
things up.
Yeah. He's always the weird like side character doing like the weird jobs.
Mm. And then was just like randomly an Alien Covenant. Like he just plays like a
Yeah.
redneck guy, and then is like, by the way, I'm an Alien Covenant, and I'm gonna write Halloween. Like he's got such a strange career.
I didn't
Um,
like Alien Covenant. I thought it was going to be, after seeing Prometheus, I thought Alien Covenant was going to blow my mind, and I really didn't like Alien Covenant that much.
I've only seen it once. I went and saw it in cinemas with Tina and Nick, who comes on the show quite a bit, and they really liked it, and I thought it was fine at the time. The coolest bit I think was when the alien was crawling on top of the ship as I was trying to get away.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, it does have the weird flute scene, which is very strange.
yeah. When
Um,
it starts, it just like, for me, it kind of tapers in a weird direction that kind of like feels different.
Yeah, I've got to give it another watch. For me, like in terms of Alien films, I think the first one is still perfect. I just don't think like, and I don't like being that guy. Like, well, the first one's the best, but the first one is the best. Like, it's really good.
Are you talking about Prometheus or
No,
Alien?
Alien. I mean original
Yeah.
Alien, but Prometheus is really underrated. I like Prometheus as well. There's a new Alien film coming out this year, Romulus.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it supposed to be the third one? Hang on, Aliens or the new trilogy?
it's called Alien Romulus. So I think I'll see if I can find
Because
anything
I know
about.
they're having problems with the movie because they were saying it's hard because they're not sticking the alien name on top of it.
It's finished. They're in post production. It's directed by a horror guy. Like Fede Alvarez did the Evil Dead remake in 2013, and he also did Don't Breathe, which is another really great thriller. Um, so I reckon it's going to be leaning more into the horror territory.
Hmm.
But they're also developing an Alien TV series,
Ooh.
a prequel series set 3 decades before the original movie, and it's got Timothy Oliphant in it, so it's going to be amazing because he's great.
Yeah.
I don't recognize anyone else in there, and then I think, yeah, it's created by the guy who did the Fargo TV series and Legion and stuff like that. So that's a pretty strong caliber of creators there. So I'd be interested in seeing that. So we've got 2 Alien properties coming out this year. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I remember when Disney bought Fox, like when it happened like 7 years ago, whatever. Like everyone was going on and on about Fantastic Four and X-Men and stuff, and that is finally happening. We are seeing that happen in the next couple of years. But I was like, no, they're gonna get Simpsons. So you can get Disney writers on the Simpsons, and we should see like a cool change there. Not only that, we're gonna get Alien, we're gonna get Predator, and they made that Prey movie last year, which was really cool. Um,
I like all the Predator movies. I really like Predators. I think that's a really good
the
movie.
Adrian Brody one,
Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember watching that and loving it. They had, like
Yeah.
the weird predator dog things.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I haven't seen the one after that. So the fourth one, the fourth predator, I haven't seen that one.
No.
Um, but I think I've got it. I'm not sure if I do. Do I have it? No, I don't. Okay, that's why I haven't seen it
Mm.
because I don't have it. I got distracted. Yeah, Tropic Thunder, excellent, excellent pick. Which brings us to number 1 already. It feels like we've gone through it really quickly, but I love this list. This is a really good 2000s list.
Yeah, yeah. I love this movie. I don't have it on DVD. I think I need to get it. So it's District 9.
Oh, what a great movie!
Yeah. Like it just the way they do the so I like this is was it Neil
Blomkamp.
yeah, that's his name. Um it's his director debut and they set it in South Africa, which is just refreshing to begin with, by the
Mm.
way. And then the way they do the documentary style of filming and then the level of CGI that's in it, which is almost perfect, and then the story they tell, which is a very like kind of like a mirror telling of how we kind of like treat other kind of like nationalities with our immigration and stuff is really good. Like the political commentary is done well, but still makes like an awesome movie. With this sci-fi movie, it's just really cool. I think it's like a
Mm.
different kind of sci-fi movie, and they do really well with the political message.
It's really cool. Like the idea that the alien, like the whole idea, like at first there's just the thing, just like sitting above the town for all those years, and like, is it ever going to
Yeah,
open up? What's going? And then like the idea that they came down, but it wasn't so much an invasion. They just kind of, if I remember correctly, they were like a refugee species, weren't they? They're like, we just need somewhere to live, and they get put in the
yeah,
slums of all places, and they're
yeah,
treated like second-class citizens.
yeah,
And Sharlto Copley's performance, like the lead actor, who's like they call them Bronze, like he's just like like that shot him into superstardom. He's done so many movies because of that role. Like that just launched him into the
yeah,
stratosphere.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and you're right, like the visual effects. I always think back to like when his fingernails fall off and stuff like that.
yeah,
And like how his own wife doesn't recognize him. Like it's so layered. It's such a great science fiction film, and like
yeah,
it's actually a real body horror film as well. Like,
yeah.
um,
It's really cool. Like I just like the visuals and stuff as well, and I like how the aliens were done. Um, yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
good. Yeah, do you
sorry.
ever like evoke emotion through like something that ugly,
Yeah,
and still like get the viewers to be sympathetic for it is pretty good. I mean, you can do that with good storytelling, but I think if they do a good job of selling that, um,
yeah, and like it's funny because that was like a really low budget film. Like they shot it like a documentary, as you mentioned, which was a great idea. Like whenever you do documentary style films or found footage style films, it's normally either comedy or horror. The comedy ones tend to work very well. The horror ones I feel like a really mixed bag.
yeah,
But this was like we're just going to do something different. Like we're just going to do it for an alien film, and it just like it was like the perfect concoction. It just works so well. Um, and that's another film where I'm surprised that they didn't try to make more of them. Although I've just seen now that apparently District 10 is in development. So there you go.
yeah. I think if they sit on it full enough and they go, okay, I think it's time for another movie, where I'm like more skeptical now, because it's like if you're gonna like make a movie and then try to like, if your plan is to make 3 movies already, then I know your first plot's gonna suck
Mm,
balls, because you're thinking about how to turn this into like a 3-part story instead of making one good storyline, in one movie. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
unless it was something like Dune, where they're like, we have to do two movies. It's such a big story. We have to like spread it
Yeah,
out. Or Lord of the Rings, like with their existing books and stuff like that. But
yeah,
yeah, when they're planning a trilogy, it's like I remember when Power Rangers came out. They remade Power Rangers in 2017, and I really enjoyed it. Like it's very like it's cheesy. Like it tries to be modern and badass, but like when you've got grown adults saying Power Ranger, like it's always going to be silly. But I remember before the film even came out, they're like, and we're already planning five sequels, and I was like, why? Just slow down. And none of those sequels came out because the film didn't perform as well as they were hoping.
yeah,
The
yeah,
same thing happened with the Dark Universe, where like we're doing. They even came up with a title. Like remember they came up with titles for Dark
yeah,
Universe before the
yeah.
Mummy. They never made another Dark Universe film.
Um,
And the last time you were on, we talked about Fantastic Beasts quite a bit. So like obviously, yeah, that kind of forward thinking. It's good to plan or have an idea, but you shouldn't make that your focus.
no,
Um,
yeah. I think the first Marvel movies did it right, where they're like, we're gonna tell four like strong, solid stories, and
and not even that strong. Like, and that's it's funny.
or
Like,
just like coherent. Like, here's a start, middle, and end.
yeah, it's
Like,
yeah, but like it's funny because people like look back at like that in very golden like kind of like rose tinted glasses, and I love those movies. But Iron Man 2, like for the longest time, was maligned by audiences. People like really can't. I never understood it. People were like, "Dude, Iron Man 2 sucks," and it doesn't suck. But like I can see why people had issues with it. Or like Thor: The Dark World, which I know is the second phase. But like this is garbage, and now people are like, oh, but because Endgame it's better, and I do agree with that. But it's also just like you can't don't like keep changing your mind like just because you don't like the new stuff. Like they've always had flawed movies, but they're entertaining, so they get away with it.
like the Star Wars effect, where they're like anytime a new movie comes out, it's like it's shit. But then, like, you know how much love the prequels are getting now because of the new trilogy?
Yeah, and that new trilogy is not bad. Like
No,
we rewatched all of the new trilogy. We watched 8 Star Wars films last year, Tina and I. We watched the original trilogy. Um, watched the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy is slow. Like I remember by the time we got to episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, like and General Grievous comes out and he's the droid, but he's got like a heart and a brain. He has like the 4 lightsabers. Like when he came out, Ten was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "I just realized this is such a boy character. Like that character was designed to sell toys. Like he's just a like boys would love that." I was like, "Yeah, but the villain in the first movie was the government. Like you needed to make something like it was the Senate. Do you know what I mean? Like you had to make it more interesting." But then we watched the new trilogy, except for Rise of Skywalker, and not because we don't like it. I really liked Rise of Skywalker. I thought that was really
yeah.
underrated.
I
But
think yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to interject quickly and say I think the problem with the movie is they should have actually made a new villain and really like just like I mean because the villain ends up being someone we've known for the last six movies,
mm,
right? So they really fell flat, in that last kind of nothing really happens.
what if the twist was Bubba Frick was the villain?
I would be happy, but
I
if
know you love that character. Would you be like disappointed in your boy? We're like, oh man, I
no,
had faith in him.
he's a Mandalorian. They know what to do with him. They know Beck hates him with a passion. I think it's just because I like him so much. His scream is it's
I've
just
only seen that movie once, but I remember really enjoying that scene.
yeah. I mean, like all the new Star Wars stuff isn't that bad. Like I just finished playing the sequel to the Jedi Knight
Okay.
game, and it's really good. It's like you could make this into a movie and it'd be solid. Like it's Jedi Survivor, so it's got that the guy who played Joker in the Gotham series.
Yeah. Cameron Monaghan. I saw it. Yeah,
Yeah,
when I started playing that game, he was in the first one, and I
yeah,
remember like, is that Cameron Monaghan? Like, it's so
yeah,
weird that like they didn't design a character; they just like took a guy's face. Like, I always like again like in the 2000s, that was very common. Like, you have video games based on movies, and they'd use that likeness. But
yeah.
like when you like today, like these days and age, like they don't like they've got the kind of the artistry of like we're going to create something unique and different, and like to do that I was like, oh, that's very strange, but I liked it. He was doing like force sliding down ropes or something. I can't remember now, but I
Yeah,
remember enjoying it quite a bit.
the game's very good, and the story's really good too. And
Mm,
like, I think that'd easily be it could be a new Star Wars movie or TV series.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like yeah, all the new Star Wars stuff is good. Like, I'm I like the Mandalorian. I didn't mind Obi-Wan. I haven't seen Andor yet. I tried watching was it Ashoka? I forgot what the
Ahsoka, yeah.
yeah. I couldn't. I think I fell asleep. So
Okay.
I've heard mixed things about
I've only watched season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian. I've seen nothing else, and not because I don't want to. I just have really struggled to complete TV shows lately. I think we talked about this before we started recording, but the only TV show I kind of started and finished last year really was Last of Us. Like most things, I just haven't been able to get through. Like I'm still haven't finished What If season 2. Actually, Loki season 2. I really liked season 2 of Loki. I thought that was really well done. But most TV shows I
it.
haven't sat through. I'm behind on everything. So um,
Yeah, yeah,
but I like that trilogy. I liked Rise of Skywalker. I didn't like Last Jedi the first time I watched it, but I rewatched it last year, and hands down, I'm not even kidding. I think it's one of the best things they've done with Star Wars. I really, really like Last Jedi,
yeah, yeah.
except for the Casino Planet stuff. That's just whatever.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people don't like that scene, and
it's not as bad as I remember it. Like in the cinema, I was like,
uh,
"This is ridiculous," and like now, I'm like, "It's not ridiculous. It's just a little bit boring."
but
Um,
I think the biggest problem is it's just like a waste of time because like
mm,
nothing comes of it. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't do anything interesting with the plot. It's just like it's just extra story, like it's extra
mm,
like world building, and it doesn't pay off in any direction because like the guy's just like flips on them, so it's just
yeah,
nothing happens. It's not like an and then situation. It's just like, oh, they just went here and nothing
yeah.
kind of happened because of it.
And
Yeah,
it does that movie does have one of the best lightsaber fights of all time, which is when Kylo Ren and Rey team up and they're
yeah,
fighting Snoke and his army. Like that's so cool.
yeah.
Um,
It just needs to up the villains, man.
yeah, Star Wars have been having a bit of a villain issue. Like I guess like with the original
Yeah,
trilogy, you knew it was gonna like you were introduced to Vader straight away. In the prequels, you're like, well, it's going to become Vader. Like we know it's his story. Um, but with this one,
yeah,
they had the opportunity to do something different, and Snoke was cool. Um, but then like Ryan Johnson with the second film, I think they're like, do whatever you want, and he's like, right, well, I'm gonna get rid of everything you guys like. I'm gonna do all this weird stuff, and they're like, damn it, we have to write a new third movie now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Have you seen the Boba Fett TV series?
no, I've heard it's fine, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I haven't
Yeah,
watched it yet.
yeah, yeah. It's good, but I feel like they spent a lot of time on the Mandalorian in it. It kind of like
That's what I've heard. They're like they might as well call it Mandalorian season 3.
yeah, yeah. It's weird. Yeah,
Mm. But I do want to watch Obi-Wan, and I want to watch Ahsoka because I'm excited about Hayden Christensen coming back. Like I'm excited that like he's back. Like he kind of after that trilogy he disappeared from the world. Like I'm sure he was in stuff, but not a lot of stuff. But like to have him come back is very cool. Like I'm very excited about that. So obviously not excited enough to watch it because I haven't done that yet. But I do like the idea of like him having a bit of a chance to redeem himself and have another
yeah.
go because he was really I liked
I
him as an actor.
I really like the prequels. I really like them. I
Yeah,
actually
me
watched.
too. I like him. I feel like I always liked them, and they were our because they were our Star Wars movies. Those were the movies that were in theaters when we were watching movies. Um, Particularly, I think Attack of the Clones is really underrated. I know it's everyone's least favorite one, or most people's least favorite one. I think Attack of the Clones is great. Like that whole Colosseum scene where like they're fighting the monsters, and then all the Jedi arrive, and like
Yeah,
Jango Fett gets his head cut off in front of his son. Like that's all really cool.
yeah,
Um, the CGI in the first one in Phantom Menace has aged really poorly. Like it looks like like it looks like a 3D render of what the movie's going to look like. It's very blocky and smooth.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But yeah, no, I like young Anakin. I think it's really cool.
mm. That's a great list, man. Like I'm looking over it again. Like it's so strong. Everyone and it helps that it was a strong decade, but no one's had a bad list yet. Like everyone's list of the 2000s has been excellent. It's been really, really good.
Yeah,
And there's such variety. Like everyone's list has a bit of everything on it, but they all uniquely different. There's always something. There's a lot of comedy I'm seeing in the 2000s, so that really lends to your kind of theory before about how like it was a big genre for comedy because people are popping them up again and again. I was a little bit surprised that I didn't see some Mr. Deeds in there. I know you liked Mr. Deeds in the 2000s. That was a great flick.
Mr. Deeds.
Do you remember that, the Adam Sandler one where he like he inherits the mansion, and
Oh,
that was a great film. I love Mr.
I,
Deeds.
I like Adam Sandler, but not that much.
I I haven't watched like a classic Adam Sandler film in a long time. I want to go back and watch like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and stuff again.
And Little Nicky, like as well. That's one
That
of my,
was a 2000s movie, yeah, Little Nicky.
yeah,
Yeah, dude was on top of the world for a long time.
yeah.
Um, Excellent, man. We don't have a rapid fire question round for this one because I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it until like after I started recording episodes, and I was like, well, I think I might have run out of ideas anyway, so there's no rapid fire round.
Oh,
Yeah, so you're off the hook this time.
yeah,
But do you have any
absolutely.
closing thoughts? Any final thoughts on the decade and the movies we talked about? We talked about a lot of movies, considering it was just a list of five.
Yeah. 2000s were probably, yeah, probably the best for variety. And I hope we get back to that because I'd really like to see different movies in the cinema again.
I agree. It was. I can't stress it. I've said it a lot. It was a wonderful time. There was so many cool. I'm blown away that you remembered Identity. Like that's blown my mind this evening. So,
Yeah, I think like Barbie was so refreshing last year
mm,
because it just felt like just a ridiculous comedy. You know,
mm,
it's something that could have been made in the 2000s. That
yeah,
that's kind of like where I'm hoping we go. You know, from here.
yeah. No, I agree. I'm still wondering how they're going to cross over Barbie with those other toy movies because Hasbro's doing like a bunch of like, or not Hasbro, but I think Mattel are doing like a Matchbox Cars movie, and it's like, are they going to cross over? Is like Barbie kind of like join the cinematic universe? As
I
a,
don't think it's going to do well. I don't think they're going to find the same success with Barbie because it's like you just had the right casting, the right director.
that's it. Like that, the only way there's been plenty of Barbie movies in the past that were made for like kids to sell toys, but the only way you could take that subject matter seriously, and it's not a serious movie, but it's got a message in it. But the idea was to like present it the way they did. I don't think any other team could have done it the way they did, which is really, really
Yeah,
good.
I just think like they're gonna do all these toys, and they're gonna try to replicate the success, and I think it's just gonna be like it's not gonna hit the same way.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Um, Excellent. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode. It's been great having you back on the show, Josh, and I can't wait to do it again with you. We've got few more things coming up, so it'd be good to have you back. I say a few more things this year. It's only just about to turn March, but I
Yeah,
just feel like everything's moving so quickly. I've already got like a bunch of stuff planned for the show. But we'll have you back, and you had a great list as always. For those, yeah, and I can't even put words. I'm very tired. You can probably hear it. I'm
yeah,
struggling to string a sentence together. Um, Deadleaf Games, is that what the handle is on Instagram at Deadleaf Games?
yeah.
Yeah, go and follow Josh on at Deadleaf Games. He's always putting up cool updates. I don't know if you can't remember if you put the Dune thing on Deadleaf or you just on your personal one, but
It's just yeah,
go follow Josh, give him a like and a follow, and support his stuff. There'll be more updates about that game coming very, very soon, I'm sure. So get on board and help him out there.
yeah,
If you want to support my show, head over to I Was a Teenage Film Snob, underscores between every single word. I post pretty regular. I've been a little bit slow with the movie posts just recently. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I'm at like movie 66 or 67 for the year. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I just haven't been posting about it. But I'm doing a lot more video content, so you can enjoy that. If you want to support the show financially, you can head over to tpublic.com and order your very own I Was a Teenage Film Snobs t-shirt. Just search for the name, or you can click the link in my bio on Instagram as well. And that's going to do it. Is there anything else that we need to plug that you want to plug before we get out of here?
no,
Go buy the Dune version of Risk. I don't know if it's about when it's available. It's Josh said it was out the same week as the movie. When the movie
yeah.
comes out, Google it and buy it and look at Josh's artwork. It's awesome. And that is the only homework I'm giving you this week. Um, so that's going to do it for the show. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks to Josh for coming back. It was a great episode. I hope you all loved it. And as I say every week on this show, guys, I was a teenage film snob, but I'm trying to be better. We'll see you next week.